but it exists, doesn't it? Right? And there are people out there that watch it with their children in the room. The assault on LGBTQ folks across America. And, this is why now is there this growing attack on gay folks, queer folks, lesbian folks? Why is this growing right now? And it's because it is the easiest when you're looking to oppress people. It's the easiest to go after those who are a smaller percentage of the population and have less political power. And despite the fact that there are a large percentage of LGBTQ people across the United States, but not large compared to white people, black people, Hispanic people. So it's easier to go after, and I mean vocally go after. Like, there is systemic racism that goes after black people across America, but you don't see a lot of bills that outright say, hey, you can't be black around here. But many of these bills are nearly doing that against LGBTQ people. More than 530 anti-LGBTQ bills have been proposed across the country just this year. In the first 5 months of this year, leading up to Pride Month, which began on June 1st, hundreds of anti-LGBTQ bills have been proposed in state houses across the country, with dozens of them passing. More than 530 have been drafted and proposed in state legislatures and in Congress. Of those bills, which were submitted between January 1st and May 31st, 68 have been enacted into law, and 122 have officially failed so far. So already 68 are enacted into law. And I love that one of the ongoing anti-gay, anti-LGBTQ statements that you see on Fox News and on the internet and on Twitter and everything is they'll show some, photo or video from a pride parade, of, let's say, the leather float. There is a leather float where there's guys, and it is normally guys dressed in leather. And they'll show something like that, and they'll go, who in their right mind would allow their children to see this? Oh, God. And they're using that to say who in their right mind would allow gay people to exist, which is what they really mean. But let's just talk about the who will allow their children to see this. Well, if that's really your bar for whether something should be allowed in society, who would let their children see this, then wouldn't that mean 80% of all movies should never be made? Like, how much television? I mean, fucking Law and Order SVU, every episode's like, let me tell you the 14 ways I was raped. Who would allow their children to see this? But it exists, doesn't it? Right? And there are people out there that watch it with their children in the room. So just the fact that, you personally don't want your kid to see Law and Order SVU doesn't mean that it shouldn't exist and you should attack all of television, because that's what they're trying to do, right? They're not saying, they don't look at the leather float and go, hey, who would allow their children to see this? I want just that float removed. I'm all for pride. I'm all for gay people having all the rights in the world. I just want that float removed. That one with the where they're holding the dildos up. Get rid of that one. No, they don't say that, do they? Because that's not really what they're after. What they're after is these anti-LGBT laws. What they're after is really oppressing a whole group of people. They don't mean, they're like, if it were really just like, oh, who lets their kids see that? All right, then don't let your kids see that. I wouldn't even let my kid, like, depending on the age of your kid, I wouldn't let my kid watch WWE. A bunch of fucking greased up, roided men and women beating the shit out of each other. That's not good for a 2-year-old. I wouldn't show, but I don't look at WWE and go, who would let their kids see this? Let's ban all of television. But that's really what they want. It's a way of being anti-LGBT, which is more allowable than just saying, hey, I hate all gay people. That's really what they want. It's just to stop gay people from existing in society, as these bills demonstrate.